Hello everyone, my name is ZinoFabrik and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore on 1.18. In that episode I want to dry out an entire ocean monument. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to reach 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. In the previous episode I make a slime farm. If you want to see that, you have the first link in description. In that episode I want to make a very big project. That is to make a prismarine farm here. And firstly we need to beat the 3-bit guardian. And for that we go directly to beat that. I found one guardian and I go to beat that. And I give a lot of damage to that and I beat that very easy. That was so easy to beat the first guardian. And I go to beat that. And and I can move. That's very interesting. And I beat that. I spend a lot of time to find the third guardian and I go to beat that. I regenerate my life and now I think that I beat the old guardian. And for that I took a milk bucket and now I eat that. And I don't have more mining fatigue effect. I found a room with sponge and I start to collect that. And I got 39 sponge from that room and I go to find another room with sponge. I found another room and I start to collect the sponge. Finally, after I loot the entire ocean monument, I got a stack and 29 wet sponge. That's very good. And now I need a lot of sand to remove the water which is above the ocean monument, and for that I think the best way to get a lot of sand is to go in a desert and to start to work. I made 3 chests and after that I made shulker blocks from my old shulker shell. Now I go to collect sand from the closest desert and I start to collect sand. After a lot of time I finished to fill up the last shulker box and now I have 4 shulker boxes full of sand and a little part of my inventory. After some times I arrive to the ocean monument, I change my elytra with my chest plate and now I go directly down to the ocean monument because I want to make an outline of the monument. After some times I found the best way how I can place the sand. That's a very fast way, and as you can see I made a very big part. After a lot of fun I finished to surround the entire ocean monument with a big sand wall. And now I need to place a lot of more sand in the interior of that outline. And I place that to every 4 blocks. And I start to place that in that way for the beginning. The guardian attack me and that make my work so hard. I work hard and I use my old sand, and for that I need to go back in the desert to collect more 4 shulker boxes with sand. After that I collect some snowball from that hills because I need that to make the zombie fire pigly angry to me, so I can get a lot of XP to repair my shovel from the gold farm. After the gold farm I made the piglin angry for me and I start to repair my all items. After some times I arrive to the desert and I place down my 4 shulker box and I start to fill up that with sand. After a lot of time I finish to fill up that all 4 shulker box with sand, and now I arrive to the monument and now I start to work. After a very long time I finish to place the all sand which I need to the guardian farm, and that look like very good. Now I need to remove the old water which is in the sandbox. After that I go to collect some obsidian because I need 20 pieces of obsidian to make 2 portal, one in the guardian farm and another one in nether because I want to smelt my sponge very fast. After that I took my iron hoe, I took my old sponge, I took my flint and steel and I go directly to the guardian farm. When I arrive I start to make a little portal on that island. I turn on the portal and I go in nether, and that is a very good place. And after that I start to work on removing the water. After a long time I use my old sponge and I don't succeed to remove the old water from one single segment, and I'm thinking to go more ocean monuments to collect a lot of more sponge because I need so much to remove the water from a single segment. That's incredible, but I need a lot of sponge. I found another temple and I go directly in that to beat the old boss and after that to collect the old sponge. And I found the first boss very fast and I beat that. The mining fatigue are gone out and I found the first room with sponge and I start to collect that very fast. After some times I found another ocean monument and I go very fast to explore that and I go directly to beat the boss. After I loot 4 ocean monument, I get 4 and 60 sponge, and that is another ocean monument and I am very curious to see I loot that or I not loot that. And no, that's a new one. And I go very fast to loot that because I found that by mistake. That's incredible. And I found 4 room with sponge in that ocean monument, and I got a lot of sponge. That's incredible. I don't believe that. I found 5 room with sponge in that single ocean monument. That's incredible. And I'm very lucky. After a lot of time I get 6 stack and 46 sponge. That's so much, and I am very happy. I arrive home and I go directly in Nether. And here I start to place down my all 6 stack of sponge, because that's a very good way to smelt your sponge. And after a lot of time I finish to smelt the old sponge and go back in the overworld to work on removing the water from that ocean monument. And after some times I think I removed the old water from the first part. After some times I return to work on the guardian farm, and for that firstly I want to make a diamond hoe with efficiency 5, unbreaking 3 and mending, and for that firstly I need some books, some emeralds. I found an unbreaking 3 and one mending here, and now I need only efficiency 5. And it's possible to have an efficiency 5 in that shulker, but no. I took some emeralds and one book, and I go to talk my villagers about an efficiency 5. And I got 2 books with efficiency 4. I combined the 2 books to get efficiency 5, and now I place efficiency 5, unbreaking 3 and mending on that diamond hoe. The next step is to make that in netherite hoe, but now I don't consider that a very important stuff. When I arrived to the ocean monument I took my little sponge, and now I go to remove a lot of water from that ocean monument. When I removed the water below the ocean monument, I found here a very strange structure. I think that's an ocean ruin, but I'm very curious to see if I found a chest. I didn't find any chest here, but it's very interesting. After I smelt my oil sponge, I go back to work on removing the water from the ocean monument. After a lot of time, I finish to place the oil sponge I have, and I remove a very big part of water. And now I start to collect again the wet sponge and smelt it. After a lot of time I finished to remove the old water from the ocean monument, and now I need to remove the old sand, and that's a very fast way to remove the sand. I fill up my old 2 shulker box with sand and my entire inventory, and now I decided to go home to take some double chests. And I place a lot of double chests here for sand. After some time I finished to remove the oil sand which is above the ocean monument, and here I removed a lot of wet sponge, and now I need to collect that. I spent a lot of time, but finally I finished to remove the sponge from here, and I removed the old water which is above the ocean monument. I go in Nether to transform that old wet sponge in normal sponge. After that I go back to the ocean monument because now I want to remove the old water which is in the ocean monument. And after a lot of time I think that I removed the old water which is in that ocean monument, and now the ocean monument are free, and now I start to remove the entire interior of the ocean monument. I spent a lot of time, and after a very long time finally I finished to remove the every block which is in that ocean monument. And here I found some gold, and now I want to do that with you. And that's an amethyst in my ocean monument. That's very rare, and I found one here, and that's look like very good. And now I start to lighting the entire ocean monument. And now I thinking about how I can make a guardian farm, because I will work a lot of time in the exterior of the ocean monument. I decided to make that farm for the beginning, because in that time that farm can make a lot of prismarine. And after some time I finished to lighting the entire location which is under the ocean monument, and now are not spawned any mob here. Now I need a lot of power rail and redstone block because I want to make the collection system in that 2 little hole. I return to the ocean monument and I start to place the block of redstone. And now I need to place a lot of power rail and normal lay to complete that big area. After a little bit time I use my old power rail, and now I need to go to mine some redstone because I don't have redstone. And I got the first piece of redstone. And I found the giant cave here. Accidentally I found a lot of diamond here, and after a lot of time I got a lot of redstone. I arrived back to the ocean monument, and now I start to work again to the collection system, and I start to make a lot of power rails, and now I go to place that power rails. After I finish to place the power rail and normal rail, I start to place a lot of magma block because that's the system with which I will kill the guardian. Here I want to make a sorter, and here I want to make the storage zone. And firstly, I start to place the double chest. After I place the double chest, I said to me that's the time to go home because I don't have too much wood and I need a lot of more wood to finish that project, and for that I go directly home. And when I arrive home, I start to chop down a lot of tree because I need so much wood. Chop down a lot of tree and I got 3 stack and a half of oak wood. And after some times I finished to make the sorting system, which is here. That's a very simple sorting system, and that's the elevation system. Which means I move the item from here to the chest from the surface, and now I start to work on that location where I will spawn the guardians. After I finish to make the entire structure, now the last thing is to place the water here and the farm artwork. I finished to complete that with water, and now I start to remove the stone. And officially I finished to make that guardian farm. And as you can see, I gathered some fish, some prismarine sharp, and some crystals. And now I will start to surround that entire ocean monument with a giant circle of sand, and I start that directly now because I want to make an epic transformation in the future. After some time I finished to place a lot of sand, and I finished to surround the entire ocean monument with a giant circle of sand, and now I need to place a lot of more sand to reach the ocean layer. I spent a lot of time, but finally I finished to make that entire circle with sand, and now I start to make a lot of section so I can remove the water very easy, and I start that directly from here. After some times, because I remain without sand, I go to collect a lot of sand from that. I don't understand how is that possible, but I found a lapis block on the surface. How is that possible? And I continue to collect sand. And after that I go to my gold farm to repair my all items. I spend a lot of time and I use my all sand. I arrive in my desert and I start to collect again a lot of sand. And I eat another big part of the desert. I arrive to the ocean monument and I start to continue to place a lot of sand to make more sections. And I complete a very big part, and now again I need to go to my desert to collect more sand. I arrive to the desert, I place my 3 shulker box down and I start again to collect more sand. And after I place the all sand I have, I go to the gold farm to repair my shovel. I activate the farm and I stay to repair my items. And I start again to collect a lot of sand. And when I arrive back to the ocean monument, I start to place more sand. And after a lot of time I finish to place the all sand which I need to that ocean monument. And now I need to remove the old water which is here. And for that I will use my old sponge to remove that water. And I start to remove the water. After an incredible long time, finally I finished to remove the old water which is here. And now the old stuff which I remind I make in that episode is to remove that old sand. That's again a very hard work, but I will make it. I took my torch and I go to remove that old sand with the orc rig with the torch, like that. I work hard, and after a lot of time, finally I finished to remove the oil sand which is in the interior. The last stuff which I want to make in that episode is to lighting the entire area to don't spawn any mob. After a little bit time I finished to lighting the entire area to prevent the mob spawning, and now I want to go to my guardian farm to check the result. And I have a lot of crystals, and here is a lot of guardian. I got a lot of fish and a lot of prismarine sharp. And so much prismarine crystal, that's incredible. And in the previous episode I make a slime farm. If you want to see that, you have the first link in description. If you have any idea about what I could do in the next episode, write me in the comment section. That was the hardcore episode. I was Zino, and if you like that video, don't forget to like and subscribe to reach 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And I wish you a legendary day.